What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in. If you like what you see, check out the entire episode at patreon.com/partywithstrategy. Every single week is a bonus episode. That's 4 episodes a month for $5. In a time where everything's overpriced, we're bringing back the clearance rack, baby. Let's go, champ. We'll see you over there. Enjoy the preview. Welcome back to the Party with Strategy podcast. Very special guest joining me again. I feel like our first episode was a wash because I had 36 to 48 hour hiccups. It was...
Did you ever figure out what happened?
No, they just went away, thank God, and I just try and forget about it now, but it was ridiculous. It was hard to concentrate. You did drop a ton of incredible knowledge, and it's on the Patreon if anyone wants to watch it, but we're back, baby, and I'm excited. My boy's in the building. Thank you for joining us after a day of travel and a night of partying and ripping it around the country. The Chicago House Heathen. Call him a doctor because he's handing out treatments. Everybody's favorite roommate, my boy, Proppa. What's good?
What's up, dude? I appreciate you having me. It's good to be here. It's been fun, like, getting to be better friends over the past few months, too, ever since I did that first podcast. I feel like we've kind of built some cool stuff. Like, you brought me in on a cool thing and have helped me out a lot with getting some good content out there, too. So, yeah, dude, it's been good. I've been up since, like, 7 a.m. yesterday, pretty much, with, like, short naps on the plane, so... we're rolling, but
yeah, no,
I feel all right.
I appreciate it. We've definitely bonded. We bonded over Kill Tony. Mm-hmm. We bonded over, obviously you're an incredible producer, but then I saw you actually DJ at the Dig Bipper and I was like, holy shit, this kid's fucking absolutely just ripping it. Very inspirational. I was like, I gotta step my fucking game up.
What?
After I
Get
saw,
the hell out of here,
I swear to God, after I saw what you did, it inspired me to like get a set together on my sticks.
Really?
Like, rather than just have a bunch of songs I love and go up there and fucking try and make something happen, like formulate a good hour to hour and a half set where I'm mixing things that are just fucking pristine. I mean, your shit was like absolutely...
Thank you, man.
Locked.
I mean, and a lot of people like kind of hate the method. I actually made a video about it a few days ago and it kind of got mixed reviews compared to other stuff I put out about like this is how I put together my sets, because a lot of people are like, I don't plan my sets, and it's like, well, you have 200 followers and nobody shows up, so like,
yeah,
I mean I don't want to know. But I mean in reality, like if someone's paying you a good amount of money or like you're trying to get good content, if like there's people that are buying tickets to come see you and you go there unprepared, like that's irresponsible to me. You know, and it depends. Like open format, I feel like you come from a different like background, which allows you like, it's almost like there's more stigma about like you have to go unplanned unless you're doing crazy routines like craze and stuff. But no, I mean like it just makes sense, right? Like you're in charge of the music for a room of sometimes like 1,000, 2,000 people. You know, even if it's just 200 people, like you're in charge of the music for them. You're just gonna wing it, like. They're paying you good money, like you're just gonna wing it, like I don't know. So, and I make up for it, and like my blends I feel like aren't easy. Like I don't do like basic like blends on the CDJs. Like I try to really keep it like I'm always busy. I sweat my ass off, like it's a workout for me. You know?
You're not just, it's not like, oh, I mix in here and I mix out here. You're looping, you're fucking, hitting the up fader and creating noises. You're really creating sounds on the CDJs like a DJ's is, I don't want to say is supposed to, but to me, that's how I love, like you're really manipulating sounds up there. It's
like what people think DJs do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like besides the scratching part.
Yeah, but the scratching is just a version of that, right?
Yeah,
like you're having a loop going and a roll that's got some buzz to it, and you're fucking like that is the same thing as scratching.
For sure,
it's an element that's outside of just what the song is doing itself.
Yeah,
and it was mad inspirational. And you're right. I mean, open format is more kind of like, all right, these are the songs I know I'm gonna play, and I'll fucking mash them together, and maybe I'll create some crazy moment that I didn't even know I could do. And then now, okay, I want to keep that in my bag of tricks or whatever.
Exactly. I've seen a lot of open format DJs who like, watch this blend. Like I played this song and they liked it. Watch this blend. And like they'll do something. I'm like, holy shit, that was amazing. And I feel like that's where my inspiration definitely came a lot from James Hype, but then also being around so many open format DJs in Chicago. You know, I used to work at Soundbar and stuff, and just like seeing, and no hate, like it's been what's expected of house and techno DJs to kind of just like play songs long, like play 2-3 minutes of songs and like, you know, just blend slowly and make it feel like seamless in that aspect where you're just like, okay, drop the bass, pick up the bass in the other one, and like, and it's kind of just what's been taught. But watching open format DJs do stuff where they're like, oh, he's got this vocal over this beat and that's crazy, and then he uses this other part of the beat to loop and get out of and go into the beat of the with the vocal that was, you know what I mean, like,
yeah,
like that. Why can't we do that with house? And like, yeah, I feel like I cannot wait until stems are more integrated on CDJs, because that's going to change my life.
That's going to be crazy.
It's going to change my life. It's going to change my sets so much, dude.
Stems is insane.
I know.
Stems is so nasty, bro.
I know, man.
And you, on the last pod, you were even talking about how you create your music with that in mind.
I do.
Like
yeah.
your style of mixing.
I leave stems like naked in tracks because I want to DJ them like that. I know other people want to as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Which
yeah.
is super dope.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. So tell me, give me a little recap of last night while it's still fresh on your mind. Did you have any traveling qualms? Did you have any airplane issues?
I definitely flew Frontier for the last time there ever. I'm never flying Frontier again.
I've had that exact moment in my life where Frontier fucked me so bad and I said I will never do it ever again.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it wasn't even like they did anything to me. It was just the most unorganized, like, boarding process. Like, workers didn't know what they were doing. Like, the plane was delayed. The turbulence was more than I've experienced in like a long time. Just overall, I'm like, dude, I feel like I'm like, and I've flown Frontier a lot, and I guess maybe I just gotten lucky or something. But
yeah, like
the flight was uncomfortable too. It was completely sold. It's holiday, you know. But I flew United home, which was just so much better.
Yeah.
My God.
Did you smack a little Eddie before you got on the plane?
No, I haven't done Eddie in a long time.
Really?
Yeah.
No, edible.
Oh, I thought you said Eddie.
Eddie.
No, I did. I mean, I usually will smoke before I get on the plane. And I picked up a pen in Arizona because it's always cheap out there.
Dude, so cheap.
Yeah.
Fucking Arizona's weed prices from the dispensary are like Chicago's drug dealer prices.
I know, it's good. $25 gram cartridges out there. Like, it's pretty nice.
It's awesome, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it was good, man. I've played in Arizona the last like 3 years. So I have some people out there that have booked me out there that have become good friends of mine. And regardless if I'm playing for them or someone else, like, they're gonna want to hang out and host. And yeah, so we just kind of got together, did a dinner party at a homie's place, and like, it was chill, you know.
Tight.
But the show was good. I mean, they were telling me it's ASU grad week. Like, a lot of people went home, I guess, for the holiday, like yesterday. But it was still like good energy. Did like a multicam setup, so did like 2 cameras, and then had like a couple of people filming everything too. So I'm not gonna drop the full set. I think I'm just gonna drop like a bunch of clips because it's just so much more valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on Mill, right? Casa is on Mill Ave.
Yeah.
I lived in Arizona for a year in 2012, and I drove this thing called the Big Red Wagon, which was like a college pickup and drop off service. It was like, you roll up, you know, they call you with 5 to 10 people that want to go out to the bars and shit, and it's like $3 or $4 a person depending on where you're going. It's like cheap rides, and they smash a bunch of people into the van.
I feel like that can't exist with Uber now.
No, Uber definitely put them. Well, I mean, I don't know, because it was so cheap. You know, you had $3 a head. You know, you had 10 people in there. It's $30 ride, but it's broken down into how much it is per person.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It was definitely pretty tight, but I fucking, on Mill Ave, on Mill and 6th, Halloween weekend, the car had like some shitty stereo job wiring, and it sparked up and caught on fire. and the back of the van caught on fire.
No way.
And while I was driving it, I smelled something. And I was like, what is that? I look at like the temperature gauge. It's not that. I'm trying to look and see if it's smoking or something. And I look back and there's like smoke. So I pulled over and I opened the back doors, and you could just see under the back seat, there was like, you know, when you burn plastic and it like drips fireballs?
Oh, no.
It was
way.
like fireball dripping
oh my God.
onto the carpet.
Molten plastic.
And this thing just went up, bro. It just went up like legit 14-foot flames. I pulled it over on like an alley, and everyone thought it was like a terrorist attack. It's Halloween weekend. Mill Ave is fucking packed. It was insane.
So like, what is that process? Like a insurance claim? Like,
dude,
that was someone hired you to do that?
Someone hired me to do that. It's like, he was a fucking douchebag too. It was like some douchebag guy who started this company like fresh out of college. He's like an Italian entrepreneur guy. Like, I'm gonna fucking hire these kids and I'm gonna make all this money.
Still
and like,
stuck in college after he leaves college.
Yeah, he was that dude. And I remember calling him. He was shit faced, bro. This was like 2 a.m. or something. Wow. And I was like, dude, the red wagon lit on fire. And he was like, what? I was like, it's gone. Like, the red wagon lit on fire. And he like, I could hear him sobering up on the phone and being like, what the fuck? And I was like, yeah, like, the police are here. You got to get over here. It was crazy.
Oh my God, bro. And it was like they found out it was a spark in this, like, the stereo system? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I saw it. It was definitely the wiring from the sound system.
Dude.
It was crazy.
There was like probably some stock sound system in there that they put, or not stock, some
yeah, like some like aftermarket cheap shit that got done in Mesa or something.
Yeah, try to get a loudspeaker system for a party car. That's fucking wild,
dude. It was insane. There's actually a video of it on YouTube. Someone like just filmed it, and I remember searching it the next couple days, like Arizona car fire.
Oh,
and I
man.
fucking found it. Yeah, it's just on there somewhere. Yeah.
Did you see my story the other day?
No, what was it?
This dude crashed into
the building across
by your
the crib.
Corner from me. Yeah.
Yeah, what was that? That was in the middle of the night, drunk driver or what?
Yeah, I think so, man. I was like asleep, or I was trying to sleep. It was one of those, you ever like laying there and you're like half asleep, half awake, like, you know, things are happening outside of like in the world, but like you're like rested.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how to describe it. I was trying to fall asleep, and I heard this massive bang and like shattering glass, and it literally sounded like an explosion. And I was like, should I get up and look out the window? And like, it took me a minute, and I get up and I look out the window, and it's really dark on my street, even though it's like on Western, they like turn off the lights. I look left and right, and like nothing. Like, I don't really notice anything. I'm like, huh. And like, I was kind of groggy, so I go lay back down, and like 2 minutes later, I hear more sirens than I've ever heard on my street. And they all pull up, and I finally like take a closer look outside, and I look at where they all pull up, and this car is literally just in the building. I guess like it was going through the intersection. I don't know which way, but it hit another car. The other car seemed like it wasn't too fucked up, but the one that like went through the building, like it just full sent. Like, I heard like an engine rev noise too. And when I was like, holy shit, that's what like kind of scared me. It was like an engine rev, and then I heard the bang. I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, I think he was drunk.
That's crazy. Did he flee? Did he run?
I don't know. So
for sure,
they had red tape up, and someone told me that means that someone might have passed away.
That's fucked.
Yeah. I don't know. Which I would assume it was the person who crashed into the building, because the other car was just like the front corner of it was dented.
Yeah. What was the establishment? It wasn't open at the time, right?
No, they have it up for lease. Yeah.
Okay.
It used to be like a flower shop. Can you imagine? It's still fine.
I mean, they're about to come up on a fat insurance check. So.
Yeah. Honestly, I think my landlord owns that building.
Oh, that's big.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but like they have most of the block, so I think they're going to get a payout from that.
That's tight. There's like a shitty ass bar on Pulaski right over here that has just always been this shit bar that's like open a little bit and then it closes forever, and then it's just like some weird thing, but some car drove right through it.
Like, is it like window or just built like wall, or?
You just straight through the front door, windows, everything. And then now it's like nice. They redid it with all the insurance money. They're like about to probably lease it out. It's probably going to be dope now.
Come to think of it, man, I hope they put a fucking dope restaurant there across the corner from me or something. Yeah. I mean, I used to live right down the block from where I live. I used to live by Greek Corner. Do you know that on Damon and Augusta?
No.
It's like a cheap burger spot. And I was driving home when I used to DJ in like the Lakeshore East Park. I was driving home. It was like 1 or 2 a.m. And I guess I had pulled up like 2 minutes after a car just drove. It hit the curb and it hit a fire hydrant. And the fire hydrant launched the car in the air and it went through the wall, like through the brick wall. And you could see the hole in the wall where they repatched it because there's still the remaining bricks like on the bottom where it jumped over and like
that's
through the
fucking
wall.
insane.
And I pulled up like to the stoplight, which like I lived like kind of near it, like right after it happened. I was like, holy shit. But a bunch of people were out there like checking on them.
Did you
like,
still try and eat?
No, like this was at like 2 a.m. This is when I was like, I had to pass it to go home.
Okay.
So like I parked my car and I came out and looked and like it was two just plastered dudes. And like there's a news report about them. Like their BACs were like insane.
Damn.
But yeah.
There was one time I came out of Hush when I was living in Houston, but I was coming back for like a weekend to DJ. I played at Hush, and Griddle 24 is right across the street. And it's fucking 4 a.m. That's the spot to go. You know, I'm smacked, bro. I'm so drunk. And I was with my boy Khalid. And we walk outside. And there's just, you know Griddle, right?
Yeah.
Like if you walk in the front door, there's a left side of the restaurant. And then there's a right side of the restaurant. It's kind of like divided. There was a car that was just completely inside of Griddle through like that left side right on the corner of Chicago and Orleans.
Yeah.
And I was so drunk that I just figured that you could still eat on the right side of the restaurant.
Yeah, like you tried to walk in.
I told my boy, I was like, let's go try and get some food. He's like, are you fucking insane?
Bro, why are so many cars driving through buildings in Chicago, man? It seems like harder to do that than it is to like hit other cars or pedestrians or like
100%.
Like drive through brick walls and shit. Like
I can't even fathom, and I hope I never have to fucking find out.
Yeah,
I hope I'm never near a building that's got a car going through it. I hope I'm never in a car that's going through a building.
I can't imagine living ground floor on a main street, like, let alone like the ground floor unit below me is always like the window is completely vandalized. You know, like people just fuck the whole like front of the building up, and yeah, I mean, imagine just laying there and a fucking car goes through your apartment. Like,
insane, bro. Yeah. Absolutely insane. Very exciting news. Brand new sponsor for the show. Shouts to Long Drink. They see the vision. If you guys like what's going on here, you got to go buy some Long Drink. Thank you for watching. We'll be right back. Check this out. All right, party people, you know how it is. Late nights, great music, and that perfect vibe. And what's a better way to elevate the night than with a refreshing drink in your hand? I'm talking about the Finnish Long Drink. If you haven't heard of it yet, the Long Drink is not just any drink. It's a legendary Finnish favorite that's been around since the 1952 Summer Games. It's a deliciously refreshing blend of premium liquor, natural grapefruit flavor, and just the right amount of carbonation. It's smooth, crisp, and perfect for any occasion, whether you're chilling with friends, getting the weekend started, or just winding down after a set. And the best part? It's super convenient. No need to be a mixologist. Just crack the can and you've got a perfectly mixed, ready to drink cocktail. Whether you're into the classic, zero, or strong, there's a Long Drink for everyone. So next time you're tuning into the show or spinning your own beats, grab a Long Drink and take your night to the next level, because good vibes deserve great drinks. Cheers to the perfect mix. Music and Long Drink. Let's go, champ. Let's get back to the show. Thank you guys for watching. Shouts to Long Drink. Make sure you go grab one. Peace. But let's get back to what's really popping right now. What I really want to talk about is how exciting it is to see all of this shit happen for you. Like, we're at your crib recording one of your sets, and Yellow Claw's in your DMs asking for music, and Tiesto comments on your video, and fucking Lex Luger follows you. Like, it's all happening, and I get to watch it, and it's fucking exciting, and it's amazing, and I'm pumped, and like, I just have such a different perspective now than when I was first DJing, when I was really like trying to break into the scene and make a name for myself. I feel like I was very tunnel visioned, and I didn't understand the concept of like Chicago community or like other artists. It just didn't even seem fathomable to me that somebody I know or somebody in my circle would move on and potentially become one of the big producers, one of the huge people, talented fucking, like, I don't know. I was just so focused on myself and my own career. I couldn't even see that was a possibility. You know what I'm saying? And now, like, I see the No Good Boys blowing up. I see you blowing up, and I'm just like,
Trey Mortimer's crushing it. Jake Shore's crushing it. Like, there's so many people crushing it from Chicago right now,
crazy.
And like from our circles.
It's so fucking cool to see. And I just, first of all, I want to say congratulations, and you definitely deserve it and earned it. And your music is fucking smacking. From remixes to originals. Stepping Out, when you played that shit at the Dig Bipper, changed my life, bro. That's my shit. There's like certain songs that just come on and they just put a little pep in my step. It's just like it's got that. It's got whatever that is. It's got that.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, I love Stepping Out. Shout out my boy CJ. That's who I made that track with. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. It's been a really wild couple months, and like a lot I can't like even talk about right now.
Shit's probably happening behind the scenes, huh?
There's some really cool stuff happening, and I think like one of the things that I've tried to continually remind myself over the past few months is like, it's not about like, okay, this good thing is happening, I can take a break, or like I can chill out, I can be like, I made it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm cool. Tiesto hit me up. Who do I need to go for next? You know what I mean? Like, I'm very much trying to remind myself, like, nothing's different than it was 2 months ago or 6 months ago or a year ago. It's still me. I still have to make at least like 4 records a month. Like, and I still have to be putting out social media content every day. And like, I can't like, because I tried to. I didn't try to. I had to go visit my mom out of town, which was great. Love visiting my mom. But taking 4 days off of the project was like not good for here, you know?
How so? You just feel like you kind of slowed down? Like you have to now build back up that?
Yeah. Like, there's this thing where like, you know, and I'll get fried for it still saying it here. Like, a lot of people are like, you got to take time for yourself. You got to relax. Look, man, like, there's so many fucking people trying to do this. There's millions of people, not like tens of thousands, like millions of people are trying to do the exact same thing. Whoever sleeps the less and works the hardest is going to get the bag. And it's not like, I'm not trying to be, it's not competitive. It's just like, if I want to get to the place I want to be, like, all of these other people are going to get there first because they're working harder. So like, you know what I mean? Like, so I just like, taking 4 days off wasn't good for me. I need to be in tune 24/7 right now. I can take a break when like, I know I've really earned that break, you know, like on paper, right?
Yeah.
Not like people like, oh bro, your music's so sick. Like, it doesn't matter how big someone is that says that. Like, on paper, there needs to be a number that shows that I'm allowed to take a breather, you know?
Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah. And I just like, I think there's a lot of banter about like, self-care is definitely important, but it's important to find out where self-care works in your hustle. You know, like, how can you make yourself feel good? What's the right amount of sleep for you? What's the right amount of workouts per week? You know, like, what is the easiest way to get the diet that you need in your stomach? Like, these are the things we got to do. Like, we can't just like be like, I feel like eating a pizza today. Like, you know, or like, oh, I feel like getting healthy and like doing this. It's like, no, you have to know what the fuck you want to do and just execute it and get to work. Like, so I guess I'm not trying to like be like a hardcore. I'm just like, I'm feeling really good. A lot of good things are happening, but like, I'm trying to just like, nothing's different.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, no, everything you're saying is valid, and I think very important for anybody to hear who is trying to do what you're doing, who's trying to do anything really, because I feel like you're super disciplined. you have a regimen, you obviously know what works for you, and like who's putting out more music and content than you know what I'm saying? Like it's going crazy. And it's very, if I were trying to be a producer and like make it and follow in somebody's footsteps, you would definitely be one of the people that I'm like trying to watch and dissect and see what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like,
I appreciate it, dude.
It's fucking valid information. It's gold.
I think there's a solid community of people like me that I've kind of been really connecting with online. Like, big shout out to Goshfather. Do you know Goshfather?
I don't know him personally, but I love his content. I love his vibe. I love his music.
Dude, Goshfather is one of those top 10 human beings. Shout out Victor, man. He's really like the inspirational goat. He's part of the reason why I really started going hardcore on the content, because I was doing the song releases as frequently, like I was even more frequent with the music on SoundCloud like a year ago. Now I'm really doing like 1 or 2 a month. I was sometimes doing like 3 or 4 a month, but he was doing the content every single day, sometimes 2 posts or 3 posts a day. And I watched his brand start to like really, and I'm like, all right, he's not lying. He knows what he's doing. And he's just a really like overwhelmingly positive guy. Same thing with DJ Susan, one of my best friends, DJ Susan, if you know him. I talked about him last time. But both overwhelmingly positive guys who have this same attitude about it. And then like Rich Diets, if you know, I have that collab with them and Smith and Soren on the Work remix. They're constantly putting out remixes like basically every other week, and content every day. And like we're all staying connected, all of us who are doing that, and like we're all watching each other's brands grow like hundreds every week, you know, followers. And it's like, I think it's gonna be a year of like cooking still in 2025, but like cooking, like not just like, oh, we're cooking, like we're gonna be building. And then I think like that people are going to start connecting the dots of like all of us who are inspired by each other and working together and being like, oh, this is the next wave, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. I was watching Quentin Tarantino on Rogan actually, and it was him and his buddy who he did the video store with, whose name I forgot, but they were talking about how there's always people going after a goal or trying to make it in some sort of industry, and like those people will always find each other and like get together and make it with each other when you're working hard enough and you're passionate enough and you love what you're doing enough. And that's what this sounds like to me, you know what I'm saying? For sure.
And I mean, that's a special emphasis on Hood Politics, who I release a lot of my music with, a lot of my edits and originals. And we have, you know, I think this has definitely probably existed in house music in places where I haven't seen, but like we have like real camaraderie in the label. Like we're all each other. I have right now like probably like 12 missed texts from them in our group, because it's just we stay up on each other's stuff, promote each other's music, give each other feedback all the time, hype each other up, inspire each other. We throw events together, and I think that's like, this is kind of like a tangent to that conversation, is like that's not just like something that happens where people find each other. Like it's important that you find a group that you can build your brand and a community with, not just like community of like, oh, fans, you know what I mean? I feel like a lot of times when people mention like, oh, I'm really building a community, it's like they're just talking about like their listeners and the people who buy their merch and stuff. It's like, no, like we're building a community of artists, industry executives, like fans, but like they're not fans to us, they're people that we connect with that are listening to our music and messaging us, and like we're meeting them at shows and stuff, which other people do, but like we're doing it like as this group, like we're moving as a group and kind of like welcoming in people with open arms. And I feel like that's kind of like, especially when there's so much noise in the industry, like that's what's going to be so important, you know?
Yeah.
It's like behind the scenes collaboration as much as it is like collaboration on actual tracks.
Yeah,
you know?
It really kind of reminds me. Did you watch the Yacht Rock documentary on HBO?
I didn't.
It's fucking sick. And
is that like Beach Boys stuff you're talking about?
No, not the Beach Boys. Like Michael McDonald and Steely Dan and fucking who else? I'm so bad with names. My brain's broken. But whatever. The whole thing is talking about how if you look at these records that came out during this time, you keep seeing the same exact names over and over. It's a group of people that are just working together and building this thing, this awesome style of music that's like this weird R&B jazz fusion, like,
okay,
you know,
that's
like
cool.
It's if you dig deep enough into anybody who's successful, I feel like there's so many dots that get connected that you didn't know about.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, he knows this guy and that dude's dope. And they've been fucking doing shit together for 10 years that nobody knew about. But now he's blowing up and he's blowing up.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's crazy how that works. And I feel like you need that.
You do, man. You can't do it yourself. Like I tried to do it myself for a long time. Didn't work. Don't recommend it. Honestly, I recommend using all the resources you can possibly get. Like the music side, I do it all myself. I prefer it that way. When it comes to the art, you can do that. But in terms of like building a brand and like just building a brand means more than just like having an image and posting on, so like it means like knowing like what people are going to expect when they see you. And like when you look at, and this is what we've kind of like looked at as models and inspiration, when you look at Wu-Tang Clan and like ASAP Mob and like those types of groups of musicians, of rappers and stuff, like you know what to expect from them as a group and from each one of them individually, and they complement each other, and they're all like an evolution of where they came from, right? Like they're all some sort of evolution of where they came from to this like art. Like 12E is even becoming a cool artist. Like Ferg is like a top-notch rapper right now. Like ASAP Rocky's one of my favorite rappers. And then like you look at Wu-Tang Clan, like they all had their own thing, but as a group it was puzzle pieces that fit together like perfectly, you know? And I feel like you can kind of really use that to your advantage to like I don't know, there's so much I get from that group of people, from the Hood Politics group, just resources like vocalists and gigs, like hella gig connections from them. We're doing Miami Music Week. It's gonna be dope.
That's sick. Hood Politics is our generation's Wu-Tang.
Oh shit, don't quote me on that.
I like that.
Don't quote me on that.
I like that. That's a vibe.
We're trying to do something that models the groups that we grew up listening to, and like, you know,
yeah, for sure. It's all about bringing what inspired you to the surface, right? And like trying to give that to somebody else in your own way. Mm-hmm. It's not like, hey, listen to Wu-Tang because I love them. It's like, check out what we're doing because it's got pieces of that.
It's going to make you feel like you did when you were like looking at that. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, it's that's the thing with art in general, right? Like no art is like 100% out of thin air original, you know?
No idea is original. There's nothing new under the sun. It's never what you do, but how it's done.
What song is that again?
That is, I know that from Nas.
Okay, yeah.
It's Nas. It's off the Purple tape, I believe.
That dude, every one of Nas's records is a sermon, bro.
Yeah, he's straight a savage.
Up. Yeah. He's yeah.
Oh no, it's not the Purple tape. Purple is off the same album. It's called Lost Sessions.
I hear is he stuck in Africa right now?
That I don't know about. Or
he's like stuck out of the country somewhere.
Is he?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or is it Mos Def that's stuck out of the country somewhere?
Mos Def was definitely stuck
that's
out of the country.
That's who it is, yeah. Damn. He's dope too.
Yeah, Mos Def's the shit. Yeah. But he's Yasin Bey now.
Yes, he is, yeah. Okay.
Mos Def R.I.P.
Yeah.
The last thing I saw Mos Def do was Season of Dexter.
Oh yeah, he did, yeah. Randomly. He's got talent, man.
Yeah.
Him and RZA too.
Yeah.
RZA can act.
Dude, RZA did all of like the scoring of Kill Bill and shit, which is sick. And then I think he took over like Chipotle's musical entertainment shit and started doing all the playlists at the Chipotle's. That's why if you're eating in there, you hear like dope ass samples. You're like, wait, what is this? I know this, but it's like the OG sample from like the hip hop shit, you know?
Yeah. Dude, I love RZA. I need to watch that Wu-Tang. Didn't they put out like a movie or a show or something?
They did I think a Showtime documentary, I want to say. I didn't watch it.
Okay. I want to watch that for sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch more documentaries. The Yacht Rock shit really inspired me. It kicked it off. It's on HBO. It's so tight, bro. It's so dope. And then I watched this disco documentary last night, actually, because I've been digging deep in the disco crates.
Like Chicago disco documentary, or just like...
No, just disco, the whole thing in and of itself.
Yeah.
And
link with Goshfather, bro. He's making some crazy disco.
Yeah, I would love to. I want to see him. I know he played out here at Joy when they were doing their Studio 54 thing.
It was a great show.
Were you there?
Yeah, I was there. It was a really good show. He crushed it. Like, it was packed. It was actually a really good show.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I actually have to DJ Saturday at Celeste on the disco floor. So I've been studying, bro.
Are they still doing like? I heard someone told me they weren't doing much disco on the disco floor anymore.
They were not, but they're so.
I like Celeste, man.
Celeste is
such a cool
awesome,
spot.
bro.
Yeah.
Celeste is awesome, but I think they kind of lost their way in, they're not doing much disco on the disco floor. It's all it's 3 different levels, and every single level should be its own entity.
Yeah.
It's something
different.
The
jungle is so sick too. Like, they could do so much with that room.
It's so dope. Yeah. But I think it's just all kind of iterations of house music right now, which house is awesome, and there's so much good house music, but it's a waste of an experience to be playing the same music on all the floors. So a White Shadow is getting involved, and I think he's doing some stuff, and he's definitely trying to make every single floor its own thing again.
I feel like any promoter would be smart to buy in on Celeste and like figure that out. Like, that's definitely really profitable. I feel like talking to other people in the Chicago industry, especially during Chicago Music Nexus, a lot of people are saying that they're going for like experiential stuff now. Like, that's why the pop-ups and the 360 sets do well. Have you played at Casa?
Tempe?
Yeah.
No, not yet.
It's like a 360 setup. It's sick, dude. Like, that's like, I don't know why it's just so much better of an experience than like standing in front of a stage and like watching the guy from far. It's so, that feels so sterile now.
Yeah.
You know?
Everything's kind of 360. I didn't know it was like that. I'm excited. I'm playing there on January 25th.
Hell yeah. So, I'll be in Boston that day. Nice.
What are you doing over there?
Basement. Have you heard of that place?
No, I think I just know Underground Boston. I feel like that's
This place looks really dope. It looks like a built-in party type of spot, which is like, at this point in my career, it's what I need. Like, you can't put me in like a room that fits like up to 500 people and be like, sometimes it could do great. Sometimes it could be really fucking bad.
Yeah.
So
what does a built-in party mean? Like, what's the definition of that? Is that like an industry term?
The promoter does a good job. And like, people know that their parties are good, so they show up no matter who's DJing, no matter who they book, type stuff.
Dope. Yeah. What other gigs you got coming up?
I have 4 bookings in 2025 lined up. I can really only say the basement one because there's 2 festivals that haven't announced yet.
Nice.
One of them we don't have full confirmation either, but they told us. The other one, I mean, we're working on Hood Politics at Miami Music Week. Like, they've done it the past 2 years, so I'll definitely be doing that.
When is that? February? March?
I think it's end of February, March.
Yeah.
Or it might be March to April.
I've never gone.
I've not done Miami Music Week yet.
You haven't been?
No.
Yeah, me
It'll
either.
be the first time, yeah.
Miami's just a fucking beast, bro.
Yeah, it's a different ballgame.
Like, it's so expensive out there. It's disrespectful.
I know. I'm staying on a couch.
Bro, the last time I went there, just buying a cup of coffee even, like, you want to fight the cashier because it's so expensive. And you're like, this is just blasphemy.
I've visited once. I visited, like, just as a vacation, and I was with my ex, and like we were looking at Airbnbs, and everything was so expensive, and I was like, all right, this is a decent price. Well, I booked one in like an area I definitely should not have booked, and I didn't realize that until I got there.
You're in the fucking jungles of Miami.
It was not.
Just
I did not belong.
Haitian guys walking around with machetes and fucking.
I didn't belong there. There was a drive-by shooting that happened the last night we were there. And we heard it. And it happened like 2 hours before we needed to leave the Airbnb to go to the airport. So we were like shook. It was like 2 doors down from where we were. It was interesting.
Jesus. Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, alright. Battle raps cause I've shaken grown men to the point that they can't even face their own friends. That's why they rhyme about jewels, not life, cause the ice on which they skating is so thin. That's what I love about the human soul. It'll usually show when the truth ain't told.